Marines surge into the fight. Overhead, UH-1 Yankee Venoms and AH-1 Zulu Vipers rake enemy positions with rockets and cannon fire, while FA-18 Hornets scream down and deliver precision strikes. Targets shift and move, but there is no confusion. Every round, every bomb, every burst of fire is deconflicted with the Marines pressing forward on the ground. That discipline, that synchronization, comes from our Joint Terminal Attack Controllers. JTACs orchestrate the modern battlefield. With a radio and a tablet, they control ordnance from joint aircraft in close proximity to maneuvering forces, linking air, land, and sea fires into one decisive punch. And the Marine Corps doesn't just employ JTACs for ourselves. We provide them to the Joint Force, setting the standard for precision, integration, and battlefield control. With fires synchronized, the battalion landing team presses into the objective area. Squads pushing through breach points, clearing house by house, street by street. Every corner secured, every building taken, until the objective is seized. Over the horizon, the sea roars, riding cushions of air. Navy landing craft air cushions, LCACs, burst into view. These massive hovercrafts, capable of carrying 60 tons and reaching speeds of 50 knots, carry the fight to the shore, bringing Marines, vehicles, and heavy firepower directly across the surf. From ship to ship, LCACs give the Navy and Marine Corps team unmatched speed, reach, and surprise, delivering combat power where the enemy least expects it.
The Navy does more than bring Marines to the fight. It sustains them. Ships offshore purify water, generate power, provide medical care, and deliver ammunition. Without safety, the logistics combat element surging supplies ashore is comprised of the Combat Logistics Battalion personnel and equipment designed to support and sustain the MU for up to 15 days in an austere environment. The logistics combat element also provides service support that includes postal, medical, dental, supply, explosives ordnance disposal, fuels, and more. They accomplish this with just 300 Marines and sailors.
Or dock landing ships that enable fleet and geographic combatant commanders options. This formation operates independently or in aggregate, and the Seabased Marines can be tailored for a wide range of missions conducted from ship to shore. The Amphibious Ready Group and Marine Expeditionary Unit is always present and always ready to project sustained combat power ashore exactly when and where the joint force needs it. At 1,000 feet, fighters roar low, ready to unleash fire at a moment's notice. At 4,000 and 5,000 feet, strike and electronic attack aircraft circle like hawks, stacked for speed and dominance. Every jet you see was launched from the deck of the USS Theodore Roosevelt, a carrier strike group that carries the fight anywhere in the globe. From sea to sky to shore, this is the full might of carrier aviation. Loud, fast, unstoppable.
Light armored reconnaissance pushes inland, striking quickly and generating tempo.
The Nemesis, light armored vehicles, M777s, and HIMARS rocket launchers deploy onto the sand, delivering armor and long-range precision dominance straight from the sea to the shore. The Nemesis is a ground-based offensive anti-ship capability that contributes to the fleet's ability to achieve sea control, sea denial, and defense against maritime threats. Nemesis allows Marines to support the surrounding naval forces by countering surface threats without reliance on traditional naval platforms. The remotely operated capability of the Nemesis enables a smaller, more expeditionary deployable capability. Partnered with remote firing positions, it increases survivability on the battlefield and enhances operations for forward deployed forces. The M777 fires the 155mm M795 high explosive round with precision. Sustained at 2 rounds a minute, surging to 4 when demanded. Operated by a section chief and 9 cannoneers. Directed by the Fire Direction Center. Approved by the Fire Support Coordination Center. This is not only steel and power, it is calculation and courage, timing and trust. The quiet math that makes thunder purposeful. The Fire Direction Officer and Ops Chief run the numbers. Data is verified, and the Fire Command is sent to the gun line. The crew moves like a single organism. One shoulders the high explosive shell. Another sets the point detonating fuse. Finally, the charge is added. Breech closed, tube elevated. The battery is ready. Then, silence. Thunder! The gun recoils, the earth shakes, and 155mm shell tears through the air. Speed, mass, steel rain, inbound. Corrections flow. The crew repeats, the rhythm builds. 1, 2, a metrodome of steel. Fire, sustained, pressure unrelenting. Motor T waits with fuel and trucks. Comms log every shot. Battalion commander. XO, gunnery sergeant, first sergeant, eyes sharp, watching the battlefield transform. formidable force of naval power and precision. As it sails into position to support a dynamic amphibious assault, the Carrier Strike Group represents the pinnacle of maritime capability, seamlessly integrating air, surface, and subsurface assets to project power and ensure dominance across the battle space. At the heart of the strike group is the aircraft carrier, a floating fortress of innovation and strength, serving as the centerpiece of naval aviation. The Carrier Strike Group stands ready to support the amphibious assault, demonstrating the unmatched capability of the United States Navy and the United States Marine Corps team.
Cyber threats and protected by Marine cyber warfare operators. This seamless flow of data ensures Marines never fight blind. The Marine Corps of 2025 is connected, resilient, and decisive.
This choreography of warfare is directed by the Marine Expeditionary Unit Command Element. The command element, comprised of approximately 200 Marines and sailors, is led by the Marine Expeditionary Unit Commander and supporting staff. They exercise command and control over the aviation combat element, the ground combat element, and logistics combat element. They have special detachments like signals intelligence, counterintelligence, civil affairs, communication strategy and operations, and reconnaissance. From flintlocks to fifth-generation fighters, from wooden decks to steel carriers, the Navy and Marine Corps continuously evolve, but their fighting spirit endures. The message is simple. The Navy and Marine Corps team is ready. Ready to deter, ready to fight, ready to defend the homeland. The amphibious ready groups and Marine expeditionary units give our nation's leaders flexible, forward-deployed options that are sovereign, scalable, ready, and in position when it matters most. These formations respond in hours, not weeks, without relying on access, basing, or overflight permissions. Their presence alone can deny adversaries the decision space they crave, shape the battle space, and introduce doubt before the first shot is even fired.
For 2.5 centuries, Marines have stormed beaches, fought in jungles, deserts, and cities, and carried our nation's colors with honor. At Belleau Wood, Marines earned the name Devil Dogs. On Iwo Jima, Marines raised the flag seen around the world. In Fallujah, Marines fought block by block to bring stability in chaos. What you see today is that same spirit, sharpened by modern technology, amplified by our brothers and sisters in the Navy, and carried forward by the Marines of 2025.